Hey, welcome everybody. Today's video is going to be a mid-year recap. So we are halfway through 2018. A lot has happened, a lot has not happened. I'll go over both of those in a bit. So I just want to kind of go over how the year's been going, what I didn't like about the first half of the year, what I liked, what I have planned going forward. And I want to also condense this to also a monthly video bit too. So I just kind of thought up this idea, and so I'm gonna just do a full mid-year recap, and then in July I'll do a recap of how June went, and August, July, by how it goes. So so we'll start off with what's happened already. So we hit 1,000 subscribers. Yay, thank you. It's been really great. I know the channel started off really strong, and I'll admit probably it's kind of gotten a little weak lately. So the first half of 2018 didn't exactly go how I planned, and so I'm looking to bounce back for the second half. So what happened? So I live up in the Pacific Northwest, and we are definitely a four seasons area, and so our spring doesn't really start until about the beginning of March. Some of the diehard guys will go out and ride all year, but I do other things in the wintertime, relax, detach, do some different things. So so that kind of, we got like a little fake spring where the weather was really nice and we're all excited, and then another snow flurry hit. So we definitely got a late start to the year. And then the beginning of April, I injured my shoulder. I have a grade 2 AC separation, so I definitely was not able to do any bike riding, or at least aggressive bike riding. I was able to do like some cross-country rides and stuff. So, so enough of kind of what didn't happen, or the positives. That's life, and that's going to happen. So. So what are some immediate future plans? I have a race, the North American Enduro Cup, coming here at the end of June. That's kind of my big one for the year that I gear up for. It's a national race, and it's a pretty big one, so a lot of national pros come out. So if you don't know or never raced, or if you're in the area, NorthAmericanEnduro.com is the website, or NA Enduro, I believe. It's a great event. Silver Mountain's also a great place to ride bikes too. So, and after that, I'm kind of just gonna taper off on the racing a little bit until the fall, and I'm gonna dedicate kind of the summer to go back to the roots of what I did, do some more bike reviews, do some more showing you guys of where I ride. There's lots of great trails around here, a lot of great content to be had. So. And then what else happened in the first half of the year is we went through quite a bit of product. So one of my first videos, I asked what goggles I should get. I was definitely a diehard Oakley guy starting out, and I was looking at either between another set of Oakleys or the Smith Pivlock, or the Smith Squad. And I eventually landed on the Smith Squad, and I'll tell you why. These things are very light. If you ever had issues of goggles kind of bouncing around on your face, these are almost next to nothing in terms of weight. They're also very flexible, so the frame contours to your face very well. So it doesn't matter if they kind of have a natural decent curve to them, and I kind of have a flatter face, and they definitely will conform to my face and be comfortable. So also another great thing is most of the squads are under $100, whereas almost all Oakley goggles are like over $150. So definitely give these a high recommend. These are the blingy Aaron Gwyn version. They come with this case, which you're not going to get with the normal squad, but you'll get like the bag. And if you get the Chroma Pop version, you'll get a clear lens with them as well. So clear lens, Chroma Pop lens, under $100, I give it a highly recommend. And next up, I retired these guys. These are the 510 Kestrel BOA. So these are 510's BOA mountain bike shoe. And I liked them. A lot of people complained about them, but the BOA not working very well. I will say they are very stiff. So if you have any type of foot issues where a stiff shoe is not gonna work for you, I mean, it's a stiff shoe. But benefits of a stiff shoe is you can really put the power down. I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different, something a little bit more secure. These are also decently heavy for a mountain bike shoe. So I switched to the Specialized Ambush clip light. So they are a specialized version of a BOA shoe. I'll kind of highlight those on the June recap because I just kind of got those in June. So overall, it's a good shoe. If you have a narrow foot, they might be a little bit too spacious for you. If you have foot issues, again, very stiff, but for the most part, very durable. The cleat pocket is pretty generous, and if you have BOA issues, BOA is awesome about replacing your things for free. I actually put a new BOA on this just recently, and so they're just going to be a backup shoe. Next, I bought the Giro Chronicle. This is a sub-$100 half shell helmet with MIPS. Very hard to find for that price point. Very light, vents very well. Doesn't have a whole lot of position on the visor, but it gets the job done in the positions that it does have. And I've always liked the Giro shape and the looks of it, and it fit my head pretty well. This replaced a Troy Lee A1. Ventilation between the two, arguably the A1 is one of the worst venting half shell helmets. So definitely compared to that, this vents very well. Also very lightweight, great coverage for a half shell helmet as well. Probably maybe the real only niggle though is compared to the Montero helmet, which is their top of the line half shell, is you have exposed EPS foam here, so it can't get nicked like mine is. But I mean, that's purely cosmetic. And again, for a MIPS helmet, whether you agree or disagree that MIPS is beneficial, that being said, under $100, great buy. And I'll post all the links in my description area to where you can find the best prices on these guys. Another thing that we tried was the Maxxis Minion DHR2s, and I put those on front and back. I don't know if you can see that. I tried the 2.4 WT, which stands for Light Trail, so it's Maxxis's designation of tires to work with 30 millimeter and greater inner width rims. You can use them on narrower rims. They just might round off a little bit more. But great tire. I've ran Specialized, Schwalbe, Maxxis, Panaracer. I've tried quite a few. And my go-to setup before the DHR2s were a DHF up front and an aggressor in the back. Went full DHR2s front and back. Started losing the braking edge a little bit on the rear tire, so that one I retired before my Hood River race. And for a front tire, I think it's a great tire. It's a little bit narrower than the 2.5 DHF, but it is of my opinion that it rolls better. Now, you can agree with me, that's fine. Or you can disagree with me, that's fine. But I do think it rolls a little bit faster. I do think it's wide enough to be confidence inspiring. I've never really had punctures or flats with Maxxis tires, and this was the EXO version. The only reason I took it off was I found a deal on some Specialized Butchers, which are on the bike now, which I'll go over on a future video. But if you're on the fence or weren't sure of whether or not you should run a DHR2 up front, I would give that a highly recommend as well. And if you have questions on how that setup works, just let me know. One thing that I can't show you, but that we did, was we installed, bear with me for a second, we installed CushCore in my wheels and tires. Installation first time was pretty rough. My recommendation is just follow their instructions exactly. Your experience will go somewhat positively. And then once you get it down, it's actually fairly easy. So what do I think about the CushCore? It'll just be in my wheels and tires forever. Some people are afraid of the weight for the 29er. You're going to be adding about 260 grams per wheel. Whether it's placebo, whether I want to mentally pretend like it's not there or that it's not impacting my climbs, I will honestly say that I've pretty much forgotten that it's inside my wheels and tires. And I'm running about 5 psi less front and back, and the grip that I've obtained by being able to do that, not worry about punctures, not worry about pinch flats, has been awesome. Also, because it takes up quite a bit of volume inside your rim, it's going to squish and deform, your tire is going to squish and deform a little bit differently because it almost acts like a volume spacer. So even though I'm down 5 psi front and back, for reference, I'm running 20 up front, 25 in the rear, it does not feel very squishy. So overall, I've really enjoyed it. I've set a lot of climbing PRs still with the CushCore inside, a lot of descending PRs obviously. I think if you are definitely a racer, I would highly recommend it. I would say where you will feel it the most maybe is when you are really trying to accelerate from like a dead stop or a near dead stop. I do feel like it spins up a little bit slower, but when you're at speed, that extra stability and weight in the wheels, it really, really works well. I've seen comments on my installation video and on other review videos that, well, just put more air in your tires. Well, I'm just gonna say that that kind of defeats the whole purpose, and it's missing the point of what tire inserts in general do. So adding more air, yes, you will likely protect your rims more, or protect your rims and tires, rim damage and pinch flats, but the trade-off with that is your tire is going to be really hard. You could be missing out on some great traction benefits by having lower pressures in your tire. So that comment, I'm just going to disagree with that. So if you have questions on any of this stuff, let me know. I've gotten a pretty good experience in all of it. All this stuff has been now race tested, and on that topic, so we had my first race of the year was Hood River, and I 24th. One second. 24th out of 42. Not what I was wanting, but I did take away a lot of positives. The biggest positive was 2 weeks before the race, when we did a little pre-ride trip, was the first real ride that I did coming off my injury where it was aggressive, fast, technical. On my first practice run, I honestly thought I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I've raced and ridden Hood River, raced it at least 3 times before, ridden it 5 to 6 times. One of my favorite places to ride. And I honestly did not think I was going to be able to do it. But by the second and third lap, and then by the second day, I really got some confidence back. It just started gelling, clicking. Just got more confidence in the shoulder, really, is what it was. And come 2 weeks later from that to race day, I felt good. in terms of fitness wise, it was probably one of the best in terms of being prepared fitness wise. But you know, you still have those lingering thoughts about injury. So I'm really looking to see if I can improve upon that this, you know, at the Giro Cup here at the end of June. And I'm also going to try and do a better job about vlogging that experience. I did bring my camera, I did get some stuff, but I just kind of got lost with my kind of mental attitude after some of those practice runs. So enough of that. That's kind of all I had for this video. Again, the next one we're going to have in July, highlighting what we did in June, things that I've tried. A couple little sneak peeks again, we've got the Specialized Butchers on. I have a viewer request to do reviews on the Industry 9 Enduro 305 wheel system, which I'll be doing. This guy is going to be leaving soon and being replaced. More on that later. Went to a alloy bar, back to an alloy bar from a carbon bar. So, and yeah, and then again, after June, I definitely plan on doing pretty much dedicating to bike reviews. I will say, to end this all off, I was able to sneak a ride in on a friend's transition Sentinel. Big thing about the Sentinel is the geometry. Steep seat tube, very slack, about 64 degrees. And it's that fork offset. It's that 44 millimeter offset for 29er, which is quite a bit different from the 51 that's on my bike and most 29ers these days. My 30-second impression on that bike is I really need more time on it. We definitely have some in the demo fleet at the shop that I kind of hang out at, so I'll be getting a full ride on it. In terms of the offset, I would say my initial thoughts on that is it definitely turns in faster. If you ride a motorcycle and you have that sensation of counter steering and just kind of tilting in, it almost feels like that, but it really just wants to dip into turns really fast. But it didn't quite feel more stable, going on high speed, just bombing downhill, which the less offset was supposed to provide, because the only reason why we did the more offset, the 51 millimeters, was to quicken the steering. So so it felt weird. I need more time on it, but that's my just initial thoughts on the Transition Sentinel. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you like this type of video, let me know. I go through a lot of stuff, and I want to share pretty much everything that I do bike-wise with you guys. So definitely tune in for these videos if you want to see what I've gone through, what product that I've moved through, experienced. So yeah, so thanks for hanging out tonight, and we'll see you guys next time.